Elena Carter had always believed in the beauty of stability. At 32, she had what most people would call a successful life. A well-paying job as a senior marketing executive, a loving husband, and a bright 6-year-old daughter Lily. From the outside, her world seemed perfect, but inside it was quietly unraveling. Her husband, Nathan, a construction project manager, had been spending more and more time away. His work took him to different states, leaving Elena to juggle her career and their daughter alone. She understood the demands of his job, but understanding didn't erase the loneliness. The long nights, the unanswered messages, the way he had started treating their conversations as mere obligations. It all built an invisible wall between them. And then there was Adrian Hayes. Before we start, thank you for coming to my channel. Your participation is my happiness. Let me know where you are and what time it is now. Okay, now let's get into the story. Adrian was the creative director at her firm, charismatic and effortlessly confident. He had a way of making people feel seen, and lately Elena found herself longing to be seen. At first, it was just friendly conversations, stolen moments of laughter in between meetings. But as the months passed, his presence became something more. A quiet sanctuary from the cold reality of her marriage. It wasn't as if she planned for anything to happen. But on one particularly exhausting evening, as she sat alone in her office, staring blankly at her laptop screen, Adrian walked in with 2 cups of coffee. "You look like you could use a break," he said, placing one in front of her. She smiled, grateful. "Long day. I can tell." He leaned against her desk, watching her with an intensity that made her heartbeat quicken. "You take care of everything and everyone, but who takes care of you, Elena?" The question lingered in the air, unsettling yet painfully true. She had no answer. And that night something shifted between them. A week had passed since that fateful evening in the office, and the unspoken connection between Elena and Adrian continued to deepen quietly. One gloomy afternoon, as rain tapped gently against the windows of a cozy downtown cafe, Elena found herself meeting Adrian for a brief escape from her tumultuous life. Seated in a secluded corner, they shared more than just coffee. The soft hum of conversation and the distant patter of rain created an intimate atmosphere where both could let their guard down. Adrian's warm eyes searched Elena's face, as if trying to trace the story of her hidden pain and unfulfilled dreams. "You seemed lost in thought today," Adrian observed gently, stirring his drink. "Is everything all right?" Elena hesitated, wrestling with the urge to confess her inner battles. "I'm not sure," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "Some days I feel overwhelmed by loneliness, and by choices I made that still haunt me." Adrian leaned in closer, his tone sincere. "We all have moments that shape us, moments we wish we could rewrite. But maybe it's those very moments that make us who we are now. I see strength in you, Elena, even when you're unsure of it." His words struck a chord. In that fleeting moment, Elena felt both vulnerable and understood. The conversation shifted from abstract confessions to memories of shared laughter at work, stories of childhood dreams, and even light teasing about the eccentricities of their everyday lives. As the rain continued outside, the barriers between them softened, replaced by an unspoken understanding that went beyond professional courtesy. Later, as the sky began to clear, they took a slow walk along the wet sidewalks. Under a shared umbrella, their conversation took on a more personal tone. Elena spoke of the challenges of balancing her demanding job and the silent sorrow of a distant husband. Adrian, in turn, revealed fragments of his own past, of a time when he felt invisible in a world that prized conformity over authenticity. In a quiet, reflective pause, Adrian gently said, "Sometimes the path we walk is filled with shadows, but even the darkest moments can lead to light if we're brave enough to step forward." Elena looked up, meeting his gaze. There was an undeniable tenderness in his eyes, a promise of understanding and acceptance that stirred emotions she had long suppressed. It was in that moment, beneath the whispering rain, that Elena began to wonder if the genuine care they shared could heal the silent scars of her past. Yet, as the rain subsided and the afternoon melted into dusk, both knew the stakes were high. Their connection was a delicate dance between the promise of renewal and the burden of past mistakes. Still, for that brief interlude, the shared moments felt like a haven, a spark of hope that perhaps, even amidst brokenness, there was a way forward together. In the days that followed, The quiet intensity between Elena and Adrian grew impossible to ignore. One balmy summer evening, Elena received a text from Adrian inviting her to take a walk at a nearby park, a welcome escape from the pressures of her routine. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, she agreed. Under the soft glow of twilight, the park became their secret haven. As they strolled along winding paths lined with blooming flowers, their conversation deepened. They laughed about small, shared memories and revealed pieces of their past that they rarely shared with anyone else. In a quiet corner beneath an old oak tree, Adrian reached out, gently tucking a stray curl behind Elena's ear. The simple, caring gesture ignited a spark between them. Without a word, their eyes met, and in that silent exchange, they found the courage to lean into each other. A warm embrace quickly followed, and soon soft kisses were shared. Each one a tentative confession of feelings that had been building for weeks. The closeness of their touch, the safety they found in each other's arms, felt like a defiant stand against the loneliness that had haunted them both. The intensity of their connection compelled them to seek a space where they could be alone, free from prying eyes and responsibilities. Later that night, with hearts racing, they checked into a modest hotel on the edge of the city. A quiet retreat that promised privacy and a brief escape from reality. In the softly lit room, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation and tenderness. They sat side by side on the edge of the bed, their conversation turning to whispered hopes and the vulnerability of newfound passion. In that intimate setting, as gentle kisses turned into lingering hugs and shared moments of quiet understanding, Elena and Adrian allowed themselves to experience a closeness that was both exhilarating and bittersweet. It was a night that would mark a turning point. A moment when two hearts, weighed down by their pasts, dared to step beyond the boundaries of what was safe. Thank you for listening to the story so far. Your encouragement means a lot to me. Please comment and share your thoughts here. I love you and I am so grateful to have you on this journey with me to explore the story further. The morning light filtered softly through the hotel curtains, casting long shadows on the room where the previous night's passion still lingered. Over a quiet breakfast in the modest hotel lounge, Elena and Adrian sat in a fragile silence. A silence heavy with both newfound closeness and unspoken doubts. Elena's mind was a tumult of conflicting emotions. As she sipped her coffee, the weight of last night's choices pressed upon her. Across from her, Adrian's gentle eyes searched for hints of her inner turmoil. "How are you feeling?" he asked softly, his voice a blend of tenderness and concern. Taking a slow breath, Elena replied, "I feel conflicted. Last night was beautiful, yet I can't shake the feeling that I'm standing on the edge of a precipice." Her words hung in the air as a notification buzzed on her phone, a reminder of her responsibilities waiting back in her everyday life, and the little girl who needed her. Adrian reached across the table, placing a reassuring hand over hers. "I know this isn't simple," he murmured, "and I never intended to cause you pain. But sometimes the heart leads us down paths that challenge everything we thought we knew about ourselves." Their conversation drifted between soft confessions and hesitant promises. Elena's voice wavered as she admitted, "Every moment with you feels like a glimpse of something I've been missing, yet I'm terrified of what might happen if I lose everything I still have." The honesty in her tone sparked a mutual understanding, a silent acknowledgement of the delicate balance they now shared between desire and consequence. Outside the quiet confines of their temporary refuge, reality was beckoning. The distant hum of the city reminded them that life continued beyond this hidden moment, laden with responsibilities, memories, and the ever-present call of the past. As they prepared to part ways for the day, both wondered whether their brief escape could ever merge with the world waiting for them outside. After a week of restless days and sleepless nights, Elena found herself caught between the comfort of a familiar life and the intoxicating allure of a new beginning. The routine of early morning school runs and evening dinners with Nathan and Lily felt increasingly like a gilded cage, while the memories of her secret moments with Adrian echoed in her heart. One crisp evening, as the sun dipped low over the city, Elena received a discreet text from Adrian. He proposed meeting at a secluded rooftop garden, a hidden gem known only to a few. With a mix of anticipation and trepidation, she slipped away from her daily responsibilities, her mind a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. The rooftop garden was bathed in the soft glow of twinkling fairy lights and the fading hues of twilight. When Elena arrived, Adrian was already there, waiting under a pergola draped in flowering vines. His eyes lit up when he saw her, and in that moment, the burdens of her reality seemed to melt away. They embraced warmly, the hug speaking volumes of unspoken desire and mutual understanding. In the cool evening air, their first kiss was tender yet charged, an affirmation of a connection that both healed and complicated. As they walked side by side along the garden's winding paths, whispers of their hopes and fears mingled with the gentle rustle of leaves, creating an atmosphere that was both magical and dangerously transient. The intimacy of the rooftop meeting pushed them to seek further refuge from the prying eyes of their everyday lives. Deciding to extend their stolen time together, Adrian suggested a visit to a discreet, upscale hotel he knew, a place where anonymity and comfort converged. The drive through quiet, moonlit streets gave Elena space to grapple with the weight of her choices, while Adrian's steady presence reassured her, even as guilt tugged at her heart. At the hotel, in the privacy of a softly lit room adorned with muted colors and gentle music, the couple allowed themselves to surrender to the moment. Their touches grew more deliberate, their kisses more heartfelt. Each caress, every lingering glance, was an affirmation of both the passion they shared and the risk they were taking. A delicate dance on the edge of desire and duty. Yet, as the night deepened, so did Elena's inner conflict. Lying awake in the quiet stillness before dawn, she felt the heavy contrast between the sanctuary of the hotel room and the life awaiting her beyond those walls. Every heartbeat reminded her of the life she had built, with Nathan, with Lily, and the promises that tethered her to a reality she couldn't easily abandon. In that silent, reflective hour, Elena wondered if the light of truth could ever truly outshine the shadows of her heart. The temptation of the twilight offered a brief escape, but it also left her questioning if every stolen moment was worth the cost of losing herself in a life that wasn't entirely her own. The morning light revealed a different Elena, a woman caught between the tender remnants of a passionate escape and the undeniable pull of responsibility. As she sat by the window in her quiet apartment, memories of Adrian's gentle embrace and Nathan's distant presence swirled together, each evoking both comfort and regret. That afternoon, during a rare moment of solitude, Elena met with her longtime friend Olivia in a peaceful park cafe. Over steaming cups of chamomile tea, Olivia's warm, earnest eyes met hers. "Sometimes the hardest choices guide us toward who we really are," Olivia said softly, her voice a gentle reminder that honesty might heal wounds too deep to ignore. Holding on to secrets can only create more distance, from yourself and from those who depend on you. Elena listened intently as Olivia's words sank in. Every street corner and familiar face that day reminded her of the life she had built. A life with responsibilities, love, and the fragile promise of redemption. Yet, the echoes of her stolen nights with Adrian reverberated within her heart, urging her to confront the truth. Later that evening, as twilight draped the city in gentle hues, Elena found herself alone in her car, grappling with a decision that weighed heavy on her soul. Her phone buzzed with a tender message from Adrian. "Elena, I know these moments together have been a refuge for us both, but I sense the conflict in your heart. I care for you deeply, and I want you to find the peace you deserve, even if it means walking a different path." Those words, laced with understanding and quiet sorrow, left Elena with no choice but to face the crossroads of her conscience. In that silent, reflective moment, she realized that the way forward lay not in the fleeting solace of a forbidden embrace, but in confronting her past honestly and rebuilding the trust and love in her life. As the city lights began to shimmer over the river, Elena composed a heartfelt message. She gently explained to Adrian that while their time together had been transformative, her responsibilities as a mother and the need to heal her fractured home demanded a different kind of courage. Adrian's reply, tender yet resigned, acknowledged the inevitability of their parting, a farewell that would in time allow both hearts to mend. In the quiet before dawn, Elena understood that redemption was not found in evasion, but in the difficult act of facing her truth. The crossroads of conscience had led her to a decision that would soon reshape her future. A future where healing, honesty, and hope might finally coexist. Morning light now crept gently over the city, heralding not just another day but a chance for renewal. After parting ways with Adrian and facing the tumult of her hidden emotions, Elena felt the stirring of a new resolve, a determination to rebuild the bonds that had been frayed by secrecy. That afternoon, with little Lily's laughter echoing in the background, Elena sat down with Nathan in their quiet living room. The conversation that unfolded was raw and heart-wrenching. With trembling honesty, she confessed the truth of her past missteps, the loneliness that led her astray, and the deep remorse that had since taken root. Nathan's eyes glistened with pain, yet amid the hurt was a glimmer of understanding, a recognition that while the betrayal had cut deep, there was a possibility for healing if both were willing to face the truth together. In the weeks that followed, the path to mending their relationship was neither swift nor simple. They sought the guidance of a caring counselor, whose gentle wisdom helped them navigate the maze of shattered trust and unspoken fears. With each difficult conversation, shared silence and tentative smile, Elena and Nathan began to lay the groundwork for forgiveness. The process was gradual. Every small step was a brick in the rebuilding of a foundation built on honesty, empathy, and mutual commitment. Elena also embarked on her personal journey of self-forgiveness. Through reflective journaling and therapy, she learned to view her past not as an immutable mark of failure, but as a painful lesson that propelled her toward growth. The memory of the passionate yet fleeting moments with Adrian transformed into a quiet reminder of the cost of deceit and the value of living authentically. One crisp morning, as the sun broke over the horizon and Lily's joyful giggles filled the air, Elena stood by the window and allowed herself a hopeful smile. The city outside shimmered with promise, and in that serene moment she embraced the dawn of redemption. It was a new beginning, a chance to rebuild her world on the pillars of truth, compassion, and genuine love. The journey ahead was still long and uncertain, but as the light of a fresh day bathed her life, Elena knew that every step taken in honesty would lead her closer to a future where forgiveness and hope could truly blossom. And that's it for today's story. I'd love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below and share your feelings. Did you relate to any of the characters? Or if you were in their shoes, what decisions would you make? I'd love to hear from all of you. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't, hit one. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more great content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.